Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's time for volume 22 of our Switch Gem series, and if you are a regular here, you may be wondering, why is he full screen? What is going on? Why is he doing this to us? Well, today I do have a guest, and it just looked weird, honestly, having me stuck down in the corner, so we're gonna be rolling with this. Chris, though, say hello.
What's up?
So Chris is with us from Drip Media Gaming. He'll be knocking out a couple of today's games for you, but he does know the drill. 5 gems, why we like them, who out there might enjoy them too, so you can either then pick them up, or at least consider adding them to that wish list. Today though, I gotta say it is a strong list. I'd call these the more obvious side of the eShop, so I am excited to break these down for you. I've been dying for an excuse to talk about them, and this seemed like the opportune moment. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up, the Messenger. If you haven't played it, this is an absolute must buy. I will start with that. It's another one from Devolver Digital, and you know I love my Devolver. Part traditional side-scrolling platformer, part Metroidvania. That's what makes this one just so incredibly unique. It starts linear, but then in the latter half, the gameplay evolves. Not only there though, but also visually as well. Gameplay for that first half, you can expect 8-bit era Ninja Gaiden as you work your way through progressively challenging levels while unlocking new skills. So think the ability here to jump midair by striking something with your sword, a wingsuit so you can kind of fly and glide, or even a grappling hook. Then the game gives you a time travel ability. You'll find yourself in a 16-bit build of this world, and here begins the Metroidvania, and it's a stunning Metroidvania at that. I'm not sure which half of the game I prefer personally, so that kind of screams to me its level of quality, because I swear I flip my decision on a near daily basis. Throw into the mix then the stunning pixel work in both 8 and 16-bit, and yeah, this is a must-own for every single Switch owner. You should for sure as well then check out the soundtrack, because it has 2 versions of each song. It's really cool, one 8-bit, one 16-bit. The passion at every level here is so clear, and it deserves all the praise that is thrown its way. I haven't mentioned story because I do want no spoilers here, but the opening, Demon King attacks your village, and now you're sent on a mission to reach the top of a mountain. We'll leave it there though, but my final word, not an easy game. You will die a lot, so just be kind of aware of that going in. Chris, you're up. Give us something from 2020.
So I would say one of my favorite games to hit the eShop in 2020 had to be A Short Hike. This game, I have to admit, when I first saw it, I had absolutely no interest in it at all. I didn't like the art style. I didn't like how far they took the art style. I just felt like it was a little bit overdone. But once I actually picked it up and played it, I fell in love. But the first thing you have to know about this game is it is very short. I don't know if that's why they put it in the title or not, probably not, but it is very short, but it's also very cheap. I'm pretty sure this game is on the eShop now for under $8, which I think is a pretty fair price for what you're getting. But I do have to say that I did beat the main part of the story in about 2 hours. There was a lot of other things that I could have gone and done all over the island, but the main part took me about 2 hours. But essentially, this game is about getting from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on between those 2 points, obviously. And as I said, there's a lot more stuff you can go do. But when I played, I was really interested in the story, and I wanted to see what was going to happen once you got to the top of the mountain. Now, I won't ruin anything for you, but it is a good story. It's not that deep, it's not that complex, but it's a nice, it's a nice little heartwarming tale. It's good. Anyway, so you're on this island, it's pretty much an open world. You can go do what you want, wherever you want, but you're gonna be finding certain areas where you're gonna either have to climb up to a place that you can't quite reach, or you're gonna have to fly to a place that you also can't quite reach. So what you're looking for all over the mountain are these gold feathers. Every time you get a gold feather, you're gonna be able to climb a little higher, and you're gonna be able to fly a little further. Finding those feathers is what's going to help you progress the game forward. Again, lots of other stuff to do, but that's gonna be the main goal, is get the feathers, get to the top. But that's really not the only thing I loved about this game. While the story was good, the gameplay itself is phenomenal. I found myself at some points just flying around freely throughout the map. If you get up to a really high point and just jump off, it is so much fun to just fly around. The flying mechanics are great, the story's really good, all the characters you interact with are really well done in my opinion, and for the price, I think A Short Hike is a definite pickup.
Alright, so my second pick, the masterpiece that is Hyper Light Drifter. If you watch this channel regularly, you will know I mention this nearly every time it goes on sale, because in my opinion, everyone should own it. It's one of those games that should just kind of be forced on people, you know. Pre-installed it on the Switch as kind of like a welcome to your new favourite console. I even have artwork from this game adorning my walls in this room I'm sitting in right now, and rightly so. Every single still, every moment is stunning to look at, and then the soundtrack, it's composed by Disasterpiece, absolute genius too. Now it may be easy to say you're probably bigging this one up just a little bit too much, but I promise you I'm not. Very few people play this one and don't fall in love with it. It oozes style, it captures an intensity very few games can, and it's just got this very good grasp on what atmosphere in a game means. And at this point I haven't even got to gameplay yet. Here though, gameplay wise, you can expect a top-down hack and slash experience where you will get a gun, a sword and a dash ability to aid you in your quest. Don't think you're going to be running around here killing everyone in sight quickly like some, you know, modern day action hero. This is brutally difficult. It rewards both patience and practice, and I can tell you now, you're going to need a lot of practice. This challenge though, it seeps into everything though, from that combat to just simple navigation. This world, it quickly evolves into sort of like a labyrinth of different paths and shortcuts. It does not hold your hand, but the satisfaction in progression is here. It's hard to match, and you will feel that big sense of accomplishment. Throw in then additional content as well for the Switch in the form of new weapons, clothing, and the fact it's all running at a locked 60 FPS. And this Switch build, it's the best way to experience Hyperlight Drifter, whether it's your first time or you're going back to revisit it. I haven't mentioned story on this one, it's best experienced for yourself, but just know it's not going to give you an awful lot. It's left down to pretty much interpretation, and there is forums full of people trying to decipher this tale. Now whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm going to leave that one up to your own personal preference. Let's take a look at Chris's second game.
My next one on this list has to be The Last Campfire. Now while this game did have some serious frame rate issues, I mean it had frame rate issues, there's absolutely no getting around that. But with the type of game that it is, I don't think it affects it that much. There's absolutely no combat in this game. So it's not like you're really trying to time anything or dodge or anything like that. A lot of it is just puzzles, and the puzzles, in my opinion, are great. Some of them are really small ones, contained to, you know, one room, maybe two. Some of them have you going back and forth from the area of the map that you're exploring. All of them are done really well. The story itself, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. And the way the story's delivered in this game, I think, is really good. Now, it's not the first time it's been done like this, but there's a narrator over pretty much the whole game, and if you're heading in the right direction, she'll start to speak and give you more of the story. So you kind of know, hey, if she's talking, I'm going the right direction. And her voice is absolutely just beautiful to listen to. There's a lot of puzzle mechanics in this game that remind you something of like a top-down Zelda, or even some of the older 3D Zeldas, but I feel like these mechanics go a little bit deeper. But anyway, the story she's telling in the game is a good one. It's a very deep story. There are some sad moments in it, a little bit of uncomfortable stuff in it as well, but once you get to the end and kind of see where it all goes, I just really think they did a great job with the story of this game. As I said, frame rate issues are there. There's no getting around it. But in my opinion, everything else this game has going for it completely makes those a non-issue. And other than the frame rate, the game looks incredible. It looks really good in docked mode. It looks really good in handheld mode. But again, there's no combat. There's no timing. There's nothing like that. The frame rate, yeah, it sucks to deal with, but it's not a deal breaker for this game. I highly recommend The Last Campfire if you have not played it yet.
So the final game of the week, and this is a hard list to top, so I'm going to be going with a more recent release. This game is Horace. I actually picked this one up a few weeks after release because I just got so many comments telling me you must play this game, and thank you to everyone who did tell me that. You were absolutely right. Wasn't really sure what to expect going in, and that's kind of what Horace does so well. That's what it kind of nailed for me, the idea of surprise, because I never really did know what to expect next, and that's rare for a game that can like squarely place itself in the 2D platforming realm of things. First, the story, it's going to start simple. You are an android that works for a family, and you've basically been tasked here with cleaning things up. And when I say things, that is a bit of an undersell. Clean up 1 million things. But a problem occurs. You shut down Then on awakening though, everyone has gone and now you need to finish up this mission and reunite the family at the same time. It is such a unique blend of elements. It starts with this heavy story focus, then it's going to start to introduce you to some of that minor platforming, then it's going to throw in gravity boots and puzzles. The screen will literally rotate, and then it's going to throw a ton of pop culture references at you. That's all before then as well. It starts to introduce almost like Metroidvania mechanics. This is not an easy game again, which seems to kind of be the theme with my picks this week, just to kind of contrast Chris's too. But Horace probably has the best writing out of any game on this list today. It's a game about something that should be very cold and android, but it has a huge heart and it just turns on that charm immediately. And from there, honestly, that charm got its hooks into me, and that 15 or so hour journey just absolutely flew by. I can see why folks out there so passionately recommend this one to me though, and now I'm one of them too, because I'm here recommending you check it out for yourself too. And that's it, another week down. Thank you to Chris from Drip Media Gaming for joining us in this video. I'm going to be linking his channel here at the end for you to check out. We are both quickly heading towards 20,000 subscribers, so if you've enjoyed this video today, maybe check out some of our other content over on our channels. It means a lot to both of us as we make our way out of 2020, thank God. I've also linked to our videos on A Short Hike and The Last Campfire in the pinned comments down below, as we both did put reviews out there. Then a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.